AITAH for not wanting to feed my roommate's kid? So I, 26 female, offered my friend and her daughter a room at my place. She'd recently separated from her BD. She was couch surfing or pay hotels for nights she had her daughter. I had told her that I would help with what I can as far as accommodating her and her daughter. Her daughter is 4 years old. I myself have a 7, 3, and 2-year-old. Her daughter's behavior is out of control, and she doesn't really take any initiative to discipline her, so she just wreaks havoc, and I try and step in as much as I can. But I am not the mother, and I can only do so much. This kid is big on saying no to her mom, me, and my significant other. And when it's her mom telling her to do something and she says no to her, she's like, well then stop, and she still continues on her bullshit, and the mom will just sit there and continue doing what she was doing. She says, if she annoys me enough I just give her what she wants in front of her kid. Now, this kid doesn't spend that much time here anyways, it might be a few hours every few days. But then this kid gets here, is always hungry, and the mom never buys groceries to feed her, just herself, since she doesn't have her often, but this leaves me footing the bill on snacks, meals, etc. It's been months now, and I've told her that I do not mind as long as things are being replenished. I feel like an asshole, but I don't want to feed her kid anymore. She's rude as fuck when she's here, and she's always starting fights with my kids, and refuses to share toys. And then she doesn't even ask politely for food, she'll be like, I want that, I'm hungry too. Now my frustration also stems from the fact that the days she's here mom just goes upstairs and naps. I'm not getting any help with feeding the kids, cleaning after them, and much less disciplining them. I do not have the financial means of feeding another kid, as most times when I do end up feeding her what I make, that means my significant other and I cut our portions smaller to accommodate. I'm not sure how to bring this up to her without being an asshole or making her feel any sort of way. But I constantly feel like my friends always take advantage of me in this sense. Recently too, I stopped working to take care of the kids, and shortly after my significant other was let go from his job. So money has been extremely tight. It's not a secret to her, she's well aware of this situation. But anytime her kid asks her for food, she'll be like, well ask me. And how the fuck am I supposed to be like, no your mom needs to feed you? Am I an asshole? I grew up with the belief that food is not something to ever be stingy with, but I worry about feeding myself and my family. Edit. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate everyone, and especially those harsh responses where you put it into perspective that it's not me I'm allowing this to happen to just me but my own family. I wanted the reassurance that I was not making something bigger than it had to be because I was being emotional about the situation, and wanted to make sure I wasn't somehow misplacing my own financial frustration on someone else. But thank you. I will be talking to her ASAP. It's something I feel I need to do in person versus sending over text. Just to make sure I can get the point across clearly and concisely. Again, thank you guys. Also just a reassurance. Nobody in my family went hungry because of this kid. But it was an extra workload and cost for me, regardless of how big or small. And I'm not getting anything other than rent in return. And I'm clearly taking the role of more than just landlord. So thanks guys. I'll keep you posted to see how it goes. It's been months now, equals time for friend to find alternate arrangements. Not the asshole tell your friend if her child is to eat any snacks, meals, they are to be provided by her. AITAH. I feel for that kid. You need a private talk with the mom. She needs to contribute to the household. Now my frustration also stems from the fact that the days she's here mom just goes upstairs and naps. Go up the stairs and wake her up. Do not allow her to sleep. And how the fuck am I supposed to be like, no your mom needs to feed you? This is exactly what you say. Tell the mom every time she brings the kid over, you will not be feeding her child. Say it every time. Not the asshole. This person is not a friend. Friends don't take advantage of you like this. Tell her plainly that it is time for her to leave and at this point I wouldn't care much where she went. They are not your responsibility and apparently she is no longer even a friend. Am I the asshole for not allowing my stepson, 12M, to live with us? I have 2 boys, 10M and 5M, and I'm getting married in the next few weeks to my boyfriend who has a 12 son from a previous relationship. My future husband's son asked his dad if he could come live with us after we get married because he wants to experience a genuine family dynamic with parents and siblings, given that his biological parents never married anyone else. My husband is on board with this idea, believing it would contribute positively to the boy's personal growth. I expressed to my husband that I have reservations about having him live with us, based on observations during the weekends he spends at our place. Firstly, he appears to have a strained relationship with my younger son. He rarely includes him in activities unless I specifically prompt him to do so. When I ask him to assist the younger boy, such as accompanying him to the bathroom, he does so with obvious reluctance. Secondly, he displays an excessive competitive streak towards my older son. He consistently aims to outperform him and even taunts him when he succeeds. I find this overly competitive atmosphere uncomfortable. I desire my children to grow up in a nurturing and supportive environment. The third and most significant concern is his academic and behavioral performance. My boyfriend has informed me that his son has been struggling academically and has faced minor behavioral challenges. I am concerned about his potential negative influence on my children, particularly my older son. My husband dismisses these concerns as typical for his age, believing that with our guidance, he could improve. I sought advice from my mother, and she disagrees with me, asserting that providing a united family environment could greatly benefit my stepson. Both of them label my reasons as unreasonable. Am I the asshole? Edit. Many people didn't quite catch the bathroom example I provided. Let's say we're at a park. I can't let my 5-year-old go to the bathroom alone. So, I might have my stepson accompany him for safety reasons. It's the kind of thing an older child should do for a younger one. Update. I know that I am not the best person, but I never mistreated or ignored my future stepson. I care for him, and I would never think of hurting him. I realize now that I was being overly protective of my own children and not considering things from my future stepson's perspective. I was afraid that my future stepson might bully my kids, for example, excluding the younger one from activities he enjoys, like building with Legos, or teasing the older one when he wins. But now I can see that if he wants to live with us, it's because he cares about his future siblings. Moreover, as a responsible adult, I understand that I have an obligation to help him with behavior and school grades. I talked to my boyfriend, and I accept that he can come live with us. Now, we'll need to move to a new house so that each child can have their own room, and we'll have to work on getting custody. You are the asshole, you're marrying his father, so you should start considering him as your son as well. If your eldest son, 10M, started displaying all these behaviors, then surely you wouldn't just kick him out and give up on him. I would get your boyfriend on board with ways to deal with the behaviors that you're not happy with. You are the asshole. He is your soon-to-be husband's son. He is as entitled to live under the roof as your children are. End of. I cannot believe this is real. You are the asshole, you are marrying a family. If you can't accept your boyfriend's children into your home, then don't get married. He is not less than your sons. You are the asshole. You are marrying this man. This son comes as a package deal. 1. He is a teenager, not a nanny. It's normal he doesn't want to wipe your kid's butt. 2. Then show your older son what really matters. He will face this kind of behavior at school, and with his friend. Trying to protect him from this at home when he'll experience it elsewhere seems like you are not preparing him for the real world. 3. What about the negative influence of throwing away children when they are not acting and performing like you expect them to? You are the asshole. Why should your kids live with him if his kids aren't allowed to live with you?